Mix TV presents the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash, your one-stop money shop. Also by Hardee's. Hardee's tastes like America. Now it's time for your local sports highlights and interviews with your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Welcome to the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. I'm your host, Ryan Lovelace, and we have a great show for you this week. We have 3 interviews, 1 athlete, 2 coaches. But first, as always, we're hopping right in with our Hardee Scoreboard update. First, starting with McCallie, they faced off against BGA, and McCallie, they're undefeated. They did their thing. They won 52-0. Meanwhile, another very good football team, Meigs County, they faced off against Copper Basin, and that one was not even close, 66-8. Meigs County is also undefeated. Moving on to Mcminn Central and Loudon. Loudon handles Mcminn Central. Loudon, just like those 2 previous teams, they're also undefeated. Meanwhile, Mcminn County, they're hot. They beat Sweetwater 45-14. Silverdale and Webb, the Silverdale Seahawks Cinderella run, it's not over, but they did lose their first game. Webb beats them by 12 at home. Silverdale was on the road. They are no longer undefeated. And then East Hamilton, they are a very good team. They lost to Mcminn. That's their only blemish this year. They're undefeated in the district. More on that in a second. They beat Soddy Daisy 35-0. And then the only local team to play, Bradley plays Ottawa. They go down to exit 11. Bradley handles their business 35-6. Meanwhile, moving on to soccer, the district tournament took place over this week. Cleveland in the semifinals faced off against Mcminn County, and Mcminn County handled Cleveland pretty easily, 10-2. Cleveland jumped out to a 1-0 lead, and then Mcminn County stormed away. On the other side of the bracket, Ray County faced off against Walker Valley, and Ray County pulled a little upset. Walker Valley won 2-1 earlier this year against Ray County. This time, in the district semifinals, Ray County puts Walker Valley out of the tournament. They come home with a 3-2 win. And then in the district championship, Mcminn County, they beat up on Ray County 5-0. Both teams move on to region. Mcminn County will host. More on that in a second. Meanwhile, switching gears to volleyball, Bradley and Coffee County in the region semifinals. Bradley handles their business. They sweep their way to the finals. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Cleveland and Lincoln County. Cleveland sweeps Lincoln County, and we have Bradley and Cleveland in the region championship. And in that game, Cleveland, just like the 4 previous meetings this year, Cleveland sweeps Bradley, sending Bradley on the road for their sub-state game last night. Bradley traveled to the region winner Siegel's place, and Siegel puts Bradley out 3-0. Meanwhile, back here in Cleveland, the Cleveland Lady Raiders volleyball team, which you'll hear more about later, they beat Oakland 3-0 in sub-state to advance to the state tournament for the second time in 3 seasons. So congratulations to the Cleveland girls volleyball team. That's all for our Hardee Scoreboard update. Now we're going to jump right into our football standings. First, in 6A Region 3, it's the 2 Titans. It's Maryville, it's Bradley. They're both undefeated. They're followed by Farragut, Bearden, Cleveland, and Hardin Valley. Cleveland-Bearden tonight, that's a big game for this region. Moving on to 5A, it's Ray County. They sit in the driver's seat right now. That 2 spot is wide open, though. More about that later with our schedules. But you see Walker Valley and Mcminn County. They're sitting there in an all-out tie for second place. They will play tonight. Meanwhile, in 4A, it's East Hamilton leading the way, followed by Chat Central. Chat Central's only region loss came to East Hamilton this year, so East Hamilton controls their own destiny. They win out. They will have the 1 seed in that region. Meanwhile, in 3A, it's Loudon and Kingston, 2 very good teams. They're on a collision course for each other. They're both undefeated in the region. That game coming up a little later this year, something to look forward to. And then in 2A, you have your usual dominant team. It's Meigs County. They have the 4th best record in the state in the past 6 seasons through all classifications. But then you have Marion County. They've looked very solid this year. They're undefeated in the region. Marion County and Meigs, they'll have to play later this year. Another big region game to look out for. Also Tyner under Scott Chandler, they're having a pretty good season. Meanwhile, in Little 1A, it's South Pittsburgh. Even after the departure of their head coach, they're still doing good. They're undefeated 1-0 in the region, and you can see the rest of the teams there. Moving on to private schools in Double A, After that win over Silverdale, Knox Webb has the top spot in the region. You can see followed by Silverdale and CAK, each with one loss, tied for second. And then in AAA, I mentioned it, one of the best teams in the state overall. It's the McCallie Blue Tornadoes. They lead their region pretty handily. So that's all for our standings update. Now we're going to take a look at our male performer of the week and his performance this week through a highlight reel. That was Sale Creek senior quarterback Camden Penny. Camden led his team to a huge Big 12 style shootout victory over Mount Juliet Christian Academy. The Panthers won 74-67, and in that game he threw the ball 17 times. He completed 17 passes for 329 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also ran the ball for 100 yards and 3 more touchdowns. So you can do the math. Nearly 430 yards of total offense from Camden and 8 touchdowns in that huge shootout win. So congratulations to Camden for being awarded our Male Performer of the Week. Now, next, we have an interview with our Female Performer of the Week, Brooklyn Esslinger. She is a junior who plays for the Cleveland High School volleyball team. We caught up with her after her big sub-state win over Oakland. Ryan Lovelace here at Cleveland High School, joined by our Female Performer of the Week, Brooke Esslinger. Brooke, you guys just swept Oakland 3-0 to win the sectional and punch your ticket to state. How excited are you right now?
We're so excited. You know, we've been working for this the entire season, and it's just good to, have that weight off our shoulders of, being able to go to state.
So this postseason, through district, through region, and through this sectional game, you guys haven't lost a single set, 3-0 every game. What has been the key to just having an amazing postseason so far for this team?
Well, we knew coming into postseason that we were going to make a statement that we deserved to be at state, and we just had worked so hard and deserved to be there. So it was really just all about our attitude and our mindsets going into it.
So speaking of that region tournament, you guys swept Lincoln County, you guys swept Bradley. You were named region MVP. So obviously that's a huge honor. What was your key to having just an amazing region tournament individually?
Well, it's hard for my position to say because I'm not the one necessarily scoring points. But for me, it's I have a mindset of I'm not going to let a ball hit the floor. I'm going all out no matter what. Even if the team we are playing, we've played multiple times, it's all about just going for it all the way, 100%.
So you talk about how you're not the one scoring, but the girls that are scoring, your hitters, how good have they been this season?
They've been super accountable. We really focus on not always just pounding the ball straight down, even though we are pretty good at it, but it's just hitting spots and knowing where the players aren't. So they've been very good for us.
Lastly, you're going to state. Just how does it feel?
It feels great. Once again, like the weight off our shoulders, but now it's time to go win a state championship. So.
This has been Ryan Lovelace, joined by our female performer of the week, Brooke Esslinger. Now we're going to send it back to the station. Brooke and her Lady Raiders volleyball team will travel to Murfreesboro to play in the state tournament later this week, and we wish them the best of luck. Now, we are going to take a quick break, but on the other side of the break, we are going to head to Mcminn County to speak with their girls soccer coach, Jordan Jacob, about his team's performance this year. You're watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. We'll be back in a few.
Did you wake up craving a made-from-scratch biscuit topped with tender prime rib and a fried egg? How about now? The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit at Hardee's. Feed your happy.
You're watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. Now back to your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Ryan Lovelace here at Mcminn County High School, joined by head girls soccer coach Jordan Jacob. Jordan, you guys have had a great season this year. You've lost 2 games. You're undefeated in district play, though. How has this team been able to be so successful for the second straight year?
I really think it comes down to our core group of players. We have a lot of returners that came back from last year from the state tournament team. We did lose a lot of seniors, but we lost a lot of people that played integral parts to our team. And so just them returning and then having the mindset of, we want to return to the state tournament, I think has really helped bolster the team and carry us through the year.
So this defense has been exceptional. They've allowed a goal or less in 7 games this year. Mm-hmm. What has been the key to the impressive showing this defense has put on all year?
Yeah, once again, I think it just comes down to our experience. We have really for the first time in my time here, we have a goalkeeper returning that we haven't trained as a new goalkeeper for this year. We have a senior captain in the back that leads that. Another girl that's a junior that's played a lot of minutes in the back. And we've made a little bit of a formational change this year that I think that has helped us be a little bit better on the defensive side. And so all of those things combined, I think have helped us. Yes, we have allowed few goals in games, but we've also been susceptible to giving up a lot of goals in a couple of games, but that's just kind of how it goes.
So who are some players that have stepped up and have stood out this year for you guys?
Yeah, probably the first 3 I need to mention are our 3 captains. First, Kendall Heath. She's one of our center backs that plays in the back. Addison Smith, a second captain. She plays in the midfield. And then Allison Hansford, our 3rd captain up front, scoring. I think she's over 30 goals for this year at this point. And those are our 3 main captains that have helped us. But, really our entire group that has played the significant minutes on the varsity team. Bella Hooper in goal, doing a great job. Allie Sewell, Lainey Buchanan stepping up. Annie Kovac in the back, coming in as a freshman, playing a lot of minutes in the back line. She's done a phenomenal job as well. Kylie Hockman scoring goals, Lexi Lawson scoring goals. I basically just named our entire team. So basically all of them just doing a great job.
So last season, you guys went to the state tournament for the 2nd time in school history, and now this season you're a few wins away from going to the state tournament again in back-to-back years. How are you guys preparing to make a run this postseason?
I think our preparation has just been throughout the year. We've played some really good teams, Farragut, Maryville, Briarcrest. We've played some really tough teams that have hopefully prepared us to compete with those teams that are at that level, and then just playing in our district games, taking care of those games and winning the ones that we need to, and just the girls' effort every day at practice. They know what it takes. Like I said, those returners coming back from last year, they know what it takes for us to be successful, to get back to the state tournament, so they haven't let that level drop too much. So it's really on the girls and their effort that they've put in.
Lastly, we know you haven't completed the season yet, but what is your proudest moment as a coach so far this season?
Outside of the wins, because wins are great, but we know high school sports is more about building a team together and growing those girls together. Probably the thing that sticks out the most is we had probably a week straight of rain and weren't able to really get on our field. So what we did was we just had like a team bonding day of, even though we were towards the end of our season, just bonded together and just did some activities, even just to get to know each other a little bit better, just to remind everybody that we are appreciative of each other, being on the team and the effort that they put out. And it's just great to see a group of girls that maybe don't have a ton in common outside of soccer, but come together as a team, because ultimately that's what it takes for us to be successful, is to be a great team, not necessarily individual players. And that's definitely something that has stood out to me.
This has been head coach Jordan Jacob of the Mcminn County Cherokees. Now we're going to send it to the Cleveland Country Club to speak with another coach about his team's postseason performances. Ryan Lovelace here at the Cleveland Country Club, joined by Cleveland's head golf coach, Coach Lamar Mills. Coach, you guys just had a big weekend at the state tournament, but through the first day, you guys were tied for 6th. Fast forward, you guys finished runner-up in the state. Can you talk about how this team persevered through the second day?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, going in after the first day, we didn't perform like we wanted to. We had some rough stretch turn at number 9 and then on the backside for a few holes. But as I told the girls Monday night, we set in that 6th spot. We had never finished better than 7th at the state tournament the last 3 years previous to that. But, we set 3 shots out of tied for 3rd. We set 4 shots out of tied for 2nd, and we were about 11 shots out of 1st place behind Clarksville. And as I told them Tuesday morning, I said, let's go have fun and let's go win this thing. And, Hannah got off to a tremendous start. Darby played well on the front side as well. And when Hannah made the turn, she was 4 under par. She shot 33 on that side. And we were just climbing up the leaderboard at that point. And I knew we had something special working after we made the turn on that front 9.
So you mentioned senior Hannah Nall. She's committed to stay here at Lee University. How great has she been, not only finishing runner-up as an individual this tournament, but in her 4 years at Cleveland High School?
There's just not enough words that you can say about Hannah. She's a fierce leader. I had the opportunity to coach her as a 6th grader when she moved here to Cleveland. At that time, I was helping with the middle school team. My daughter was in golf while she was at Cleveland, and so I was involved with the program. And from day one, when she got there at CMS to when she finished up at the state, she's left a mark on golf and for the girls in Bradley County and for Cleveland High School. She just has meant so much to the program. She's won so many tournaments, made a mark in that aspect. And, when you look at it, this was her best finish at the state. She wanted that more than anything. She also won the city prep this year, which was one of her goals, was to win that. So, there's just not enough that you can say. You can't put it all into words for her. And really, it's so exciting to know that she's going to play here for 4 years. This is Lee's home course. So, I feel like I get to keep her right here with me for 4 more years.
So obviously 2 other girls on this team, Darby Shea, Madison Martin. How pivotal were they to coming home with this runner-up trophy?
Both of them have been instrumental all season long. Darby had her lowest round out here in the mid-season. She shot 2 under on the front side, 34. So we knew there was some special things that could happen at that point. In that match, the girls set a 9-hole record. They were 5 under par as a team. They shot 67. Which is just unheard of. So we knew we had some special things going at that point. And Darby played consistent all year long. Madison the same way. Madison stepped in there and has improved all season long. And they're going to be an important part as we look to the future.
So talking about the future, you guys have gone to the state tournament 4 straight years. How are you guys preparing to make it 5 next year?
Obviously Madison and Darby have got a taste of it for the last 2 years, and it's a sweet thing to be playing at the state tournament. I know they're both going to put in the hard work in the off season to get us there. So we'll be looking to that, and then we're going to need some girls that were on the program this year. We had a couple of freshmen that are there. We need them to step up as well and be a part of the program and contribute. So, they all know what they need to do for us to get back there. We're going to work hard and put them in positions that they can improve in the off season to put us there where we want to be back for 5 straight years.
So lastly, this season, what moment made you the proudest as a coach?
There's been so many things that happened this year and just that have been first for the program, but probably my proudest moment was at the 17th hole of the state tournament last day. Hannah wanted to win the state tournament. The girl from Franklin played really well, and we got to the last hole, and Hannah made par on 17, and I looked at her. She sat down in the cart. We were going to shuttle to the hole, and I said, hey, listen, I said, you got a birdie 18. You can go finish state runner-up. Let's go birdie it. I said, let's get this done. And we went to 18. She hit a really good tee shot in there, probably had about 30 feet, and just poured it right in the middle of the hole to finish state runner-up. And that, for me, is just a proud moment. I mean, she knew what she needed to get done, and as a coach, to see her perform like that as an athlete, it was just awesome. So I can't say enough about that putt right there.
This has been head coach of the state runner-up Lady Raider golf team, Coach Mills. Now we're going to send it back to the station. Obviously, an amazing performance from the Cleveland High School girls golf team. Looking ahead this week, though, we have some great football games on tap tonight. First, looking at our schedule, first off, we have Bradley traveling to Farragut. Bradley, they're undefeated this year, a big region game. Farragut's a lot better than their record shows, so expect that to be competitive. Bradley's got to go up to Knoxville. Meanwhile, Cleveland making the same trek. They're going up to Bearden. This is a huge game for both teams. If Cleveland wins, they secure a spot in the state playoffs. And a win over Bearden, it's a big difference between the 3 seed and the 4 seed in this region with where you're traveling to. Meanwhile, Walker Valley and Mcminn County, those teams deadlocked for second place in their region. They're playing tonight. Winner has an inside track towards second place and hosting a home playoff game. Ooltewah and Soddy Daisy, 2 teams that haven't been very good this year. Ooltewah has a win under their belt over Howard. We'll see how that one plays out. Polk County and Marion County. Polk, they're having a good season compared to the past 2, but Marion County's having a great one. They're undefeated. We'll see if Polk County's up for that test. Meanwhile, Ray County, just like Polk and Marion, Ray County's been very good this year. They lead their region. Howard hasn't been the best this year. We'll see if Howard can maybe pull an upset and get their first win of the year. Sweetwater at Brainerd, that'll be a good game. 2 solid teams. Brainerd, they've had a rough skid as of late. We'll see if they can bounce back. Copper Basin versus Bradley Knights. A nice little sort of cakewalk game for Copper Basin. Bradley Knights, very small, sort of a homeschool league. But either way, upsets can happen. That's why they play the games. Macaulay and Father Ryan. Macaulay's going to be good. Father Ryan's pretty solid, so expect that to be a competitive game as well. And lastly, Baylor hosting Hendersonville. Hendersonville making the trip down here. A nice slate of football games tonight. You can listen to Bradley and Farragut on Talk 101.3 The Buzz. You can listen to Walker Valley and Mcminn County on 99.1 Fiesta. And you can listen to the Cleveland Raiders as they travel to Bearden right here on Mix 104.1. We are your Southeast Tennessee football headquarters. You can keep up with all the scores on our Facebook page, on our website, or really anywhere that is Mix 104.1. But as for me, this has been the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. We had a great show this week. Hopefully we'll have more of the same next week. But as for me, I'm Ryan Lovelace. Thank you for watching. We'll be back in a week.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. We will see you back here next week.